Hello and welcome to your practice. Today we're going to be going over bow posture. And in order to prepare the body for bow, we need to have some mobility in the spine, and we also need to have some flexibility in the fronts of the legs or the hip flexors. So to achieve those two things, we will be warming up from tabletop with some cat-cow and then moving into some lunges before we make our way into our posture of bow. So begin with your hands stacked under your shoulders and your knees aligned right under your hips, your spine neutral, and just take a slow, full breath. When you feel ready to move, breathe in and start to lift your chest, lightly lift your gaze, and lift your tailbone. As you breathe out, begin to round your back. And breathe in to extend. And breathe out as you round. Noticing that not only is your spine free and mobile, but your pelvis is tilting forward and back. We'll go through 2 more rounds, following your breath's rhythm to find your pace. When you're feeling even and balanced, feeling complete in cat-cow, make your way back to all fours or a tabletop position. Now, to warm up the hip flexors, we'll come into a lunge posture. And you can certainly go right from where you are, but most likely you'll have to grab the back of your ankle and move your foot forward. Another way that I like to get into a lunge is to just come into downward facing dog first. So to do that, press back to your child's posture, tuck your toes, and lift up. Take a breath here. And you can even give a little lift of one leg and send it forward to the front of your mat. Once again, you can use your hand behind your ankle to help the foot move forward. Or another easy way to lengthen your stance is to just move your back foot backward until you're at the desired length where you feel you'll get a stretch. Then go ahead and lower your knee down onto the floor. Of course, you can add a blanket if you need some extra padding. And then we'll walk both hands up. You can either put them right on your thigh, or if you've got blocks available, your hands can go on blocks. We'll take 3 or 4 breaths right here. And you can probably feel that lengthening of the front of your back leg. That's going to be really important as we take it into bow. If you're feeling good here and you want to add a challenge, you could even release the arms and add a little slight back extension from here. When you've had enough, bring your hands back to the ground, and we'll come right back to a child's posture. And take a breath when you arrive. We'll tuck the toes and lift back to a downward facing dog. Taking a slow cycle of breath right here as we prepare to move into our lunge on the other side. Give your opposite leg a little lift and step forward, adjusting as needed so that you really feel some lengthening, some sensation in your back leg. Just like on the other side, you could put your hands on blocks or come up to the thigh. Or if you want a little bit more of a strength and stability challenge, bring your arms along your side and lift the chest ever so slightly. We'll stay for one more breath. And then we'll come back down. And once again, return to child's posture. Now that we've warmed up the back and hip flexors, let's just shift in and out of a kneeling plank a few times. Shifting forward from extended child's posture, and then shifting back. Inhaling as you shift forward, and exhaling as you shift back. And this time we'll hold in our kneeling plank for a full cycle of breath. Take a little extra shift forward and lower all the way down to the ground. We're going to start our exploration with half bow, just working with one leg at a time. So to begin, bring your hands right underneath your forehead, creating a stacked up pillow here. Then bend your right knee. Leave your left hand on the floor and start to roll up, looking at the ground about 2 or 3 feet in front of you. Bring your right hand either to a chaturanga position with a bent elbow, or see if it's possible to reach all the way back and clasp your ankle. And then let's release that side and come back to that pillow that we've made with the hands. When you're ready, roll up through the upper body, bend your left leg, and either bring your left hand to a little push-up position for stability and extra support, or reach back to grab your ankle. If you want to try this, but your ankle is just slightly out of reach, you can just reach towards your ankle or use a strap or a hand towel right around your ankle. We'll take one more breath here. And then lower back down. When you're ready, bring your arms alongside of your body, bringing your palms face down so that your shoulders externally rotate. Allow your forehead to gently rest on the floor. We're going to roll first up into locust posture and then optionally add the ankle grab. So empty your lungs to begin. And then slowly lift the chest, the gaze, the arms, and the legs into locust. This is a fine place to stay. And if you'd like to move on, you can bend your knees and reach back and see if it's possible to grab the ankles. Make sure that you don't feel any pinching or compression in your lower back. If you do, lower down a little bit and just bring a little more ease to the position. If you're feeling good and you're wondering how to deepen this, you can use sort of two techniques. One is to really enlist your back muscles and lift up. The other is to kick into your hands, which will stretch your hip flexors a little bit more and help the legs to rise up. When you've had enough, release, let go, and just bring one cheek to the ground. It might feel good to swish your legs from side to side. And then let's try that bow posture one more time. So come back to forehead on the floor, empty your lungs, and slowly lift up into locust posture. When you're ready, bend your knees. Imagine that you're squeezing a basketball between your inner thighs, and breathe. 2 more breaths. Last one. And when you're ready, release, bring your opposite cheek to the mat, and swish your legs a few times. We'll bring the feet down, the legs relax, and we'll do a little child's posture for a counter stretch. So bring your hands right along your ribs, press and pull all the way back. And after such a big back bend, it might feel nice to go in stages. So you can start with a block or with stacked fists for the first few breaths. And then move into extended child's posture. When you're ready to come up, move slowly to bring your hands underneath your shoulders and roll up, taking your time to return to a low kneeling position or even a seated position. And after all of that back extension, we can do a little bit of a check-in with some seated cat-cow, just rounding and extending the spine. We'll do one more of each. Make your way back to a neutral spine. And that concludes our breakdown of bow pose, Dhanurasana. And if you'd like to continue moving, keep flowing in your practice. And if you feel complete for today, thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.